Mr. Metelsky here, and today's video will be focusing on finding the missing radius in a sphere. So sometimes you might be given the surface area of the sphere or the volume, and your goal is to find the radius. And remember, the radius is the distance from the center of the sphere to any point on the edge of the sphere, on the actual surface. So for this video, I'm going to be looking at when we're given the volume and we're trying to find the radius. So when we're given the volume, we first need to look up and find what the volume formula is for a sphere. And if we do that, it's V equals 4/3 pi r cubed. 4/3 pi r cubed. And we're going to plug in the volume amount because that's the only thing we know. So volume is 904.32. Volume is V in the formula. So we're going to take the 904.32 and put it on the left side of the equal sign here where the V was. So this becomes 904.32 equals 4/3 times pi r cubed. Now, because we have a fraction here and we also have pi that we need to get rid of or eliminate in order to get the r by itself, my suggestion would be to first multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 4/3, which is 3/4. And if we do that on the right, we also have to do that on the left. Now we know 3/4 is really 0.75. So on our calculator, we would do 0.75 times 904.32. And that should get you 678.24. And that now equals pi r cubed. Okay, again, we just took both sides multiplied by the reciprocal of 4/3, which is 3/4. 4/3 times 3/4 is really 12/12, which is 1, so that effectively disappears. Now, we have to get r alone, so what we're going to do is we need to get rid of pi, so we're going to divide both sides by pi. And for pi, remember, we want to use the approximation 3.14. So on our calculator, we're going to do 678.24 divided by 3.14. And that gets us 216 equals r cubed. Now typically, we usually have like an r squared or a variable squared, and we would just square root. But because we have an r to the third power, we don't square root, we cubic root. And what I mean by that is we cubic root 216, and we cubic root r to the third. Now, if you don't like how that looks, this is the same thing as saying this, 216 to the 1/3 power equals r cubed to the 1/3 power. So taking a cubic root is the same thing as raising something to the 1/3 power. So when you plug it in your calculator, for instance, I'll show you my calculator. What I would do is I would enter 216, and then I'm going to raise it, so the little caret button, to the 1/3 power, so 1 divided by 3. And if we do that, we get 6. So that means that 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. So that means that our radius would be 6, and we're dealing with inches, so 6 inches. Okay, so that's our overall problem here when we're trying to find the missing radius in a sphere. All right, good luck.